national programs as this, we've actually had this conversation elsewhere. And I will tell you this for a fact, that there are certain issues that played out prior to the 2003 primary election. And let me tell you, the PDP, as it were then, did not unilaterally hand over the presidential tickets to the north or to the northeast. There were committees that were set up. And the first committee that was set up by the Uche Sekodu's-led National Working Committee was chaired by the governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala. And the report of that committee says that, look, if we must zone this party ticket, the presidential ticket, it must be zoned to the two zones that have not been precedents in Nigeria. And these zones are what? The southeast and the northeast. Southeast where Peter Obi comes from, and northeast where Atiku comes from. But I can also tell you that certain individuals of the party who believe they are bigger than the party, who believe they own the party in their pocket, they schemed against this report. And then it led to another committee that was set up and was chaired by this same, former governor of Benue State. He chaired that committee, the second committee, that said, look, instead of zoning, it should be thrown open. Because they believed, at that moment, they believed they've had everything in their pockets. They've schemed, and they, in fact, they assumed the role of God. And then it was on that, in fact, everybody that voted on that committee voted for the presidential ticket to be thrown open. For everybody who is fit and capable, that have satisfied the provisions of the law, should come and contest for the election. And what happened? Those who played God, they ended up, showing to the whole world that, look, we are not God. And God humbled them. That was what happened. So the issue of justice, equity, it has nothing to do with this. It was simply a case of people scheming, and then they schemed themselves out of the situation. And then at the end of the day, they started screaming and shouting, South agenda, South agenda. Yes, the only place I feel they have a case was for, okay, if the presidential candidate is from the north, and then the national chairman is also from the north, and they think it is morally right for the national chairman to step aside from the north to allow for a southern candidate to become the chairman of the party. On that level, on that note, I think they have an argument. But their argument was solely not, based on that. It was based on the fact that, look, the party shouldn't have the party shouldn't have produced a northern candidate. And then if we have to look at things, if we have to look at precedents, if we have to look at the Nigerian presidency since 1999, since the return of democracy in 1999, you would agree with me that the North are even shortchanged in the scheme of things. Obasanjo, a southern Nigerian, had 8 years, two tenure of 8 years. Umaru Yar'Adua, of blessed memories, had just 2 years. And then we have Jonathan from the southern bloc. He had 6 years. And then Muhammadu Buhari came, and he had 8 years. And then if you look at it, you will see that the North still haven't even completed their tenure. So for those that really want to start arguing here and there, a lot of things transpired within the party, and we know these things. But for people to start organizing media shows every day, singing songs, you call band to come and play songs for you and say you are fighting for the South. Mike, they were fighting for themselves and not fighting for the South.
All right, David.
And this was what played out.
All right. Just before I let you go, this is almost 2 years to election. Do you feel that the People's Democratic Party still have a future in the country? Because you also read a statement from Senator Nenwoko, who defected from your party, officially at the floor of the National Assembly, stated that the party and the party crisis may not lead the party's future into a better time. Are you worried with all of the crises making your party unpopular daily and members of the National Assembly also defecting? Your party still have a chance in the country?
There is no right-thinking party faithful, no loyal party man that will not be worried about the issues within the party, the cracks within the party. But as I speak to you, the People's Democratic Party is deeply rooted into the hearts of Nigerians, the everyday Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians, our women in the creek, our boys and girls down in Otukpo, and even in Kebbi, in Zamfara, everywhere. The PDP, as it is today, it is the only party that has the structure, that has the capacity, that have the history to take Nigeria out of the woods and rescue Nigeria from the maladministration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's APC. As I speak to you, Nigerians have lived the best of their lives during the yesteryears of PDP. Can you compare the days of the PDP to the cankerworms we have under the APC now? The answer is no. So yes, it is true. We are worried and we are bothered by these cracks and divisions within the party. But again, it is a family affair. Aside being a family affair, we know those that have been planted in the party, just like the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, said, that it seems mercenaries have been planted in the People's Democratic Party to kill the party. But I speak to you today that Nigerians should not despair. Nigerians should not lose hope. The PDP is going to emerge stronger from this crisis. And then we are going to put our hearts together. Yes, 2 years might look short, but in politics, even 24 hours is a long time and enough time. We are going to put our hearts together, and then we are going to do the needful and make sure that we provide a viable opposition and a viable alternative to see to the Nigeria of our dreams. And this is my appeal to Nigerians. We should not be despaired. We should not lose hope. The PDP will be back from its troubles and will be back stronger to confront the maladministration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's APC and give Nigerians the Nigeria of their dream. This is what I have to say as regards that.
All right. I mean, your former presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has alleged that some party leaders have been offered 50 million naira to distract political parties and opposition in the country. Do you feel that that is a situation owing to the ongoing crisis within political parties?
Like, if you look at the way some party leaders behave in this party, I bet you will have no choice than to believe the insinuations of the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. A situation where leaders clearly disobey the laws, the court judgments, appeal court judgments, to send a message. A situation whereby you see PDP leaders openly singing praises of APC, even when we know that the APC have not done anything right since they came into power in 2015. You will see them openly singing the praises of APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, there is insinuations like this. You will have no choice than to believe them. Because I do not see why, as a PDP man that is fully loyal to the party, should be campaigning for APC ahead of 2025. That should tell you something. Do I even need Atiku Abubakar to tell me that members have been paid? I don't even need a soothsayer to tell me that. I think it is common sense. You see that, look, there is a motivation behind these praises and all these actions. So if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar says members of the party have been paid such an amount of money, I will have no choice than to believe.
But they are not kids, David Etopa.
They are not kids. Of course, they are not kids in the political arena. But that does not mean that you should sell away your conscience.
All right. All right, David Etopa, thanks so much for joining us on the show tonight. We do hope that all of this crisis will result for a stronger opposition, not really for the sake of your party, but Nigeria need a viable opposition to engage the day-to-day activities of the government of the day. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on Big Talk.
Thank you so much, Mike, for having me. God bless you.
That's a move by both Governors Forum and the Board of Trustees, the BOT. They've also scheduled March 13, 2025 for the NEC meeting. The NEC meeting is to serve as a platform for critical deliberations that will shape not just the future of the party, but also the political trajectory here in Nigeria. That's what the Board of Trustees have stated just at the meeting. They had confirmed that Odoke should be sworn into office as a national secretary of the party amidst the ongoing crisis. Everyone, before we'll be wrapping up on the show, we'll now be turning attention to the National Assembly as the House of Reps, a committee on constitutional review, has proposed the creation of 31 new states in the country. If this proposal scales through, the Nigerian state will be made up of 67 subnational governments, as the country's current states stand at 36, including the Federal Capital Territory. And the proposal for new state will was contained in the letter read during today's plenary, presided over by the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the session in the absence of Speaker Abbas. We'll be going on a break, and once we return, I will let you know, do we need more states in Nigeria, or do we need good and better governance to resolving all of the crises we and the problems we have in the country? We'll be stating out to you the states that are involved, from the northwest to the north central to the south to the southeast. There are a comprehensive 31 states drawn out from all of these states just to form more states in Nigeria. We'll be bringing that to you just after this break. Please stay with us. Policies and political actors are in the news every day, all day. And on our part, we guide you through the noise and get you to the hearts of the matter. Big Talk is your home of all-angle analysis of the top political stories. Airing weekdays on Global TV, 7 p.m. Big Talk, engaging and insightful. Policies and political actors are in the news every day, all day. And on our part, we guide you through the noise and get you to the hearts of the matter. Big Talk is your home of all-angle analysis of the top political stories. Airing weekdays on Global TV, 7 p.m. Big Talk, engaging and insightful. Just before we bring you the list that has been proposed from the House of Reps, 31 more states needed for Nigeria to increase their states. Many have really raised questions about if Nigeria really need more states, or we need better leadership, good leaders from the states and the local government, even at the federal government, in enhancing dividends of democracy. But for this new state to materialize, the House may need at least a third majority of the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives at the National Assembly, and the House of Assembly and the House of Assembly as well in the state in the respective area, and the local government council in respect of the area it has received by the National Assembly. Let's take a look from the North Central. The state that about 7 states have been proposed from the North Central to form the new state. Benue Ala State is to be drawn from the present Benue State. Okun State is to be drawn from the present Kogi State. Okura State is to be drawn from the present Kogi State as well. Confluence State is to be drawn from the present Kogi State. Agba State is to be drawn from Benue State Senatorial District. Apa State is to be drawn from the Benue State. And 37 State, namely Federal Capital Territory. Well, those are having a concern if FCT need more states to be drawn from that. But these are the 7 states that have been proposed to be drawn from the North Central as we now move to the Northeast. From the Northeast, we have Amana State, which is to be drawn from Adamawa State. We also have Katagum State, is to be drawn from Bauchi State. We also have Savannah State, which is to be drawn from the present Borno State. We also have Muri State, which is to be drawn from Taraba State. These are the 4 states that are to be drawn from the Northeast, or to be added to the Northeast as part of the move by the National Assembly. Let's get to look at what the Northwest has. Northwest, starting from New Kaduna State and Gurara State, is to be drawn from the present Kaduna State. Tiga State is withdrawn from the Kano State. Kanji State is withdrawn from the present Kebbi State. Gari State is withdrawn from the Kano State as well. These are just the 4 states that are proposed to be drawn from the northwest part of this country. And on the southeast, Etiti State, as the 6th state in the southeast, has been drawn. Adada State is withdrawn from the Enugu State of Nigeria. Orashi State is to be drawn also from that geopolitical zone. Olu State is also to be drawn from the southern part of the country, and Aba State is to be drawn also from the present Abia State. These are also the states that have been mapped out and proposed by the House of Representatives. The committee responsible for the constitutional review are making this move. Now let's get to look at what the South State has. Okoja State is to be drawn from the Cross River State. Warri State is to be drawn from the present Delta State. Bori State is to be drawn from River State. And Obolo State is to be drawn from the rivers and part of Akwa Ibom. These are some few states that will be drawn from the south part of this country. And we'll look at the Southwest. From the Southwest, which we've numbered all of these states to be the 25th state that have been mapped out. Toru Ebe State from the present Delta, Edo, and Ondo State. It looks like there are a lot of boundary sharing from that region, Delta, Edo, and Ondo, and they're trying to make a new state out of these 3 states. Ibadan State is to be created from the present Oyo State to stand alone. Lagoon State is to be from the present Lagos State. Ijebu State is to be mapped out from the present Ogun State. We also have Lagoon State from the present Lagos State and Ogun State. Both states also have where the state will be created out of both Ogun and Lagos State. And we also have Ife Ijesha State from the present Oyo State, and last but not the least, Oke Ogun from the present Ogun, Oyo, and Osun State. This is a very, a lot of move by the National Assembly, and it looks that the request can only materialize if the majority of the Senate and the House of Representatives are backing this move. And now you go to the state to involve members of the House of Assembly of the state. It will not end there. There's also a need to also engage the local government council in respect to this move. So if this has to move, it means that all of this state, all of those governments, both at the state House of Assembly and back to the local government, will be involved to know what this means. But the big question is Nigeria in need of more state, or is Nigeria in need of good leaders? This is what we may ponder on even as we make this move from the National Assembly, and of course we'll be engaging the public as they can also make that consideration in Nigeria. Everyone, that's the size of our show tonight. We'll continue to track more development as to what leaders are doing from the local government as well, the state and the federal government, bringing you to speed all of those developments. And of course, do not forget, the crisis in the parties are still a major concern for everyone. You get to Labour Party, they have their own fair share of crisis. NNPP has their fair share of crisis. And the PDP are also making it, it's a very big, tough move for the PDP to resolve the issue. Almost 2 years of post-election, aftermath of election, there are still crises that are still rocking the party. And the Board of Trustees also making move in resolving this. But can all the political parties resolve the issues and engage the government of the day in respect to their policies, their reformations, and the government?